Officer. Recent hostile UK government policies have contributed to Scotland being painted as a country that does not welcome refugees. These policies have encouraged hostility and bad feelings towards those in our society who are most vulnerable. This fear of other, rhetoric strokes racism, puts immigrants in danger and deprives the UK of the benefits migrants bring. Just this week, there were reports that a far-right activist had posed as Home Office inspector to get information about a Dumfries hotel that was housing refugees. Even more shockingly, the Scottish Refugee Council have reported that suicide amongst asylum seekers in Home Office accommodations have doubled in the last 4 years. This is due to a series of UK government asylum policies that seek to address migrants as a horde of illegal people coming to the UK instead of safeguarding the well-being of migrants already in the country. As Miles Briggs mentioned, CPG Bangladesh recently visited Cox's Bazar refugee camp, and I refer members to my register of interest. It was great to see the positive impact of foreign funding for Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh. It is disappointing that we have not seen this reflected in the Home Office's recent asylum policies. Labour wants to see an end to costly and unacceptable asylum policies set out by the Home Office. Presiding Officer, despite being reserved matter, UK government asylum policy directly affects Scotland and many devolved areas of competence within it. Under the recent UK hostile crackdown on migration, many asylum seekers in Scotland will be required to seek legal aid, housing and help from Scottish local authorities. Not to mention the potential overwhelming of Scotland's only immigration detention centre, Dungible House. The Minister, Emma Raddock, outlined that 80% of Scots also want to see a well-managed approach to asylum. Labour wants the immigration system to work for all, part of our country. We want a fair, controlled asylum system which supports refugees fleeing persecution while keeping our borders secure and ensuring all accepted claims are legitimate. Currently, the Tories are outsourcing border security to criminal smuggler gangs. That is why our UK Labour government will reform and strengthen the Migration Advisory Committee with appropriate input from across the UK, so the visa system works for all nations and regions, including Scotland. Jacob Stewart outlined how, as it stands, the Illegal Migration Act can disapply the power of the Scottish Parliament. When the UK government announced the Act in March last year, the Scottish government promised action to mitigate the damage it would do in Scotland. We are close to a year, and Just Right Scotland, amongst others, continue to warn the danger to unaccompanied minors and victims of trafficking in Scotland under this Act. The UK Supreme Court have recently ruled the so-called Rwanda plans as unlawful. Yet, strict rules around asylum and leave to remain have left many asylum seekers in Scotland and indefinite limbo, not being removed but unable to access concrete help. The UK government continues to careen down a path of policies that strips refugees of their rights to ship them to third countries, a move that Alex Cole-Hamilton rightly observed that bluntly laid aside key aspects of our human rights legislation. Karen Adam spoke of how the UK government does this instead of investing in tackling the asylum backlogs. Finally, Presiding Officer, as Paul O'Kane mentioned, the report by the Equalities, Human Rights, Civil Justice Committee recommended that the Scottish Government use powers within devolved competence of the Scottish Parliament to improve the lives of asylum seekers in Scotland. The harm caused by UK government asylum policies can be mitigated in Scotland. However, over the decade of underfunding for local authorities put vital service provided to refugees at risk. The Scottish Government's future refugee strategy must seek to protect refugees in all devolved areas, ensuring help within housing, transport, employability, access to health care, including mental health, and protection from organised crime. Thank you.